Alright, everybody, this is breaking news because we now have a chance for Gonzalo to form. Now, I wasn't expecting this whatsoever. The models weren't indicating this, and it wasn't anything to show something form over there. But the National Hurricane Center went ahead and called it an area to watch with a 20% in the next 5 days. So here's where it's currently located, right north of I believe Puerto Rico, or around there. That's Puerto Rico, I think. Right north of Hispaniola. And as you can see, it's expected to track throughout the Caribbean before really going in this more favorable conditions. Right now, it is going to have a lot of land interactions, which is going to be, especially over Cuba, which is going to prevent it from specifically forming. But once it gets in the Gulf of Mexico, if it does form, the most concerning thing is when the storm gets in the Gulf of Mexico, it is pretty much certain it's going to impact land. Because a storm's not going to exit out of the Gulf of Mexico, okay? That doesn't happen. So once it goes in, it's closed in, okay? Once the system goes in, it's going to hit anywhere from Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, or even Florida. It really doesn't have any escape. Now, right now, it looks like Texas and Louisiana could be a hit, but we're just going to have to see. But this is out of the 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time advisory, and I believe this came out in the night. But anyways, a tropical wave located over Hispaniola and the adjacent waters of the southwestern Atlantic is expected to move west-northwestern over the next several days and enter the southeastern Gulf of Mexico by late Tuesday. Okay, so by late Tuesday, it's expected to be in the Gulf of Mexico. Then move across the central Gulf on Wednesday and reach the northern Gulf on Thursday. So it's going to be a pretty fast-moving system. But it says this disturbance is currently producing disorganized showers activity, but environmental conditions are expected to become at least marginally conducive for development by Wednesday or Thursday. So they're saying it should be maybe a little bit conducive for maybe a tropical depression, but not higher, So Gonzalo, it's not going to be a hurricane. Sorry, guys. But let's have a look at that satellite imagery anyways. Why is this popping? I don't know why this is on there. I'm so sorry about that. Don't know why this is on there. But anyways, let's have a look at the satellite imagery. So, let's have a look at Atlantic. Now first, let's look at the Atlantic. Okay, so a couple of tropical waves here and there. But, look, this was like around this morning. Okay? What do you guys notice? So we generally notice this wide area of thunderstorms and showers from tropical waves. But look at this little area here. Look at this. It wasn't even there yesterday, It's just brand new. And look throughout the night or the day. Look at this thing. It's just been blowing up in convection. And boom. Now, the X is right here, you may say. And that's because that's pretty much where the center of rotation is. That happens a lot to storms, you got all the convection to one side of it. But here's that X around. And then you've got this, kind of a little bit, not too much rotations, but you do have a little bit to it. So this is where the system is currently located. This used to have a 10% chance, but at this point, very unlikely. So pretty much right now, the cone, if we had to make a cone for this system, I know I always do that. This is pretty much the cone, okay? This is pretty much the cone right now. It's going to track over Puerto Rico, etc. It just hit somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico. So we're going to have to see, but it does look like we're starting to get the systems that don't go through the Caribbean, but up. An example of that would be Dorian and stuff like that. So that just depends on how the high pressure pattern sets up. But maybe we'll get a more of this trend, which could bring more and less impacts to Florida. It depends on where the high pressure is located, if it's going to push it in, or if it's going to do like Dorian and just curl it back up. But that is, while pretty interesting, but that one's not expected to bring any major impacts right now to Florida or anything until it gets to the Gulf. So we're gonna have to see how that does end up happening. That Boo on Twitter, though, so he was talking about all of this. Now he's saying there is shear 25 to 30 knots and drier, which is why there's zero chance for in the next 48 hours. and he's absolutely correct. Where the system's located, it's in very unfavorable development. Now, what was he talking about? He's talking about, so here's that system that was 4 hours ago, but it was looking a lot worse 4 hours ago, but you can see some of that rotation really, and it did have a 20% chance at that time. Same thing here. He was showing that, but that wasn't marked or anything. So that was 5 hours ago. Still wasn't. It was looking also pretty bad, but now it's looking a lot better. But the interesting thing is we have no model support whatsoever for this system. That's very interesting. Okay. First, let's have a look at the GFS. So, let's go Western Atlantic. Just for reference, this system is currently right here, okay? Just for reference. Let's talk about GFS anyways. So in around 18 hours, it shows something, maybe something here. But nothing really, okay? But look, there's just really nothing. It doesn't really show anything except some moisture. So I suppose that's the system right here. This areas of widespread showers. So that would be, and then it kind of makes a Texas landfall, but then you do get maybe some kind of low pressure from here. But it doesn't even have millibar pressure. It just looks like it's not very, the GFS just isn't really picking up on it, it just isn't picking up on it. But let's look at the European model shows anything. And it's pretty much the same story there. It just does not show anything at all. So, I don't know why or if it just, it is what it is. But we're not looking even at tropical storm force winds, flight level tropical storm force winds, which is rather, surprising, to be honest. So both the biggest model, GFS, and European model, not necessarily picking up on it, which is really why I hadn't even had it marked beforehand, Icon, let's look at the icon. Same thing there, nothing higher than like a tropical depression at most. So is this gonna form? I don't know. But I'm more and more like skeptical about it, The NavGem, nothing much there either. All the models really aren't showing anything higher than a tropical depression. And that to me is very surprising. Very, very surprising. And you see the very same story here with this. But no, the WW3 does pick up some higher waves in around 96 hours, which is about right. But it's still, to me, it is still a little bit surprising that none of the models really are picking up on it, except the NAM 32K is picking up on it, guys. So that's right. That's right now. Nothing really. But then as you look, it does seem to get a little bit better organized. And by hour 75, you do see that you can clearly see that system in the Gulf of Mexico by hour 81. Okay, you can clearly see that low pressure. Then 32K is it's like the satellite. No, not the satellite, but the radar predictions, and that's one of the only models really necessarily picking up on anything. CMC, it's the same story there, and that's why it just has pretty much no model support whatsoever. And that's it. It just has no model support. But you're also gonna have to watch out for Hannah, because look at what the CMC shows. Hannah could be a small little system coming in the Caribbean. July is gonna go active. Look at Hannah going through. And if this actually happens from this model run, Hannah reaches, or Gonzalo, but that is concerning, guys. We have a system. I know this video is kind of going everywhere, but I do want to point that out. We have a system going here, going through the Caribbean with very hot waters, and emerging in the Gulf of Mexico. That's concerning. Now it doesn't become anything strong, but that's concerning. Um, Look at that. That is interesting. Very interesting. We're definitely gonna have to keep out on that, though. I don't think the GFS shows anything with this. Um, no, it doesn't really pick up on it whatsoever. But that is really, really interesting. What the CMC showing there, because that if that happened again, another Gulf Coast potential. So we're just gonna have to look out. But Gonzalo is could potentially form in the Gulf of Mexico with this. And then really, Gonzalo here, we have to look also for a couple models showing something brewing off the East Coast. Also, one model showing one or two system in the main development region, especially the CMC showing one coming. So we're gonna have to look for maybe one or two other systems, even maybe Gonzalo and one or two other systems after that in July. But this could very much become Gonzalo. Nothing has in a tropical storm. It looks like it could be. And then we could also have Hannah here, but it looks like it wouldn't be anything else than a tropical storm. And then what's after Anna? Let's see here. 2020 names. What's after Hannah? Let's see here. And then we could have Isaac, being also just nothing really more than a tropical storm off the East Coast. Now those are just off all the models. We're just haven't getting any hurricanes, but maybe it'll just be like 2017 or something where we just won't get any hurricanes till July, and then it'll just be all hurricanes and major hurricanes in July. But thanks for watching. We'll see if anything forms out of that. I'll keep you guys updated. And before I do end this video, I do want to say that I will not be here what's today's date? Monday, Tuesday, and potentially Wednesday. So there's a chance I do miss the formation of this invest or whatever. So if that does happen, I'll apologize in advance. And yeah.